also just be blessed and happy with any amount of money that you do get, because some things are this way, some things are this. It's just like, just knowing that you're doing what you love and you're getting paid for it, and being thankful to God for the big fish and for the minnows too. And that way, you know what I'm saying, when you're just thankful, that energy of gratitude will, you know, kind of keep you going. It'll keep you afloat. So, but life is like this and business is always like this. So to weather the storm, you got to be positive and love what you do and just be thankful for whatever you do get, you know?
Attention, all my creatives. I don't care what kind of creative you are. I need you to listen to me very closely, all right? Or maybe you're just trying to connect with some creatives. I need you to remember this name, Maker's Gym. You guys, Maker's Gym is a new creative co-working concept, the dopest I have ever seen in my life. No exaggeration. Look, it gives its members access to state-of-the-art production studios, production equipment. You get training and educational classes. You get vast co-working amenities, and even better than that, a network of up-and-coming talent and businesses. So make sure you look them up, Maker's Gym. I won't create anywhere else. Check them out, y'all. Welcome to The Dash. You know, The Dash is that tiny line between your life start date and end date. It's your story, the chapters in your book, your journey. Get ready for real conversations with real people telling real stories about the realities of failure, setbacks, and success. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. We're rolling. Let's go. The Dash in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh. I got some heat for the people today.
What it do? What it do? What it do?
These beats ain't free.
You know.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I love it. My guy is here, award-winning music producer. You're also a director, filmmaker, writer. You're just one of those really unique, creative rapper. Like you kind of do it all when it comes to just being a creative.
Mm-hmm.
And so first of all, thank you for your time today.
Man, thank you for having me, Jay. You know this is family, so it ain't nothing. Nah, for real. So that's just, it's nothing. It's nothing for me to be here the same way you always there for me. This is nothing. It's actually my pleasure. Let me just wrap it up.
I'll say this. He has actually put me in a movie. And I don't care if you blink, you gonna miss me, but I'm in that mug.
She in there.
I am
She
in
in
that
there.
thing. So it's always really, really cool to talk to such accomplished personnel, shall I say, but you're so humble.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
I'm gonna make you step outside of that for a second at the beginning.
Okay, I'm with it.
Let's talk about some of the artists, music-wise, that you have worked with, and then we're gonna take it all the way back to see how we got to this point. Okay.
All right. Musically, production-wise, I've worked with Killer Mike, Talib Kwali, Rick Ross, Waka Flocka, Lecrae, K Valentine, Jadakiss, Styles P. Who else? It's
Dr. Dre, did I see a picture?
Man, just recently. When I say recently, it's been a little bit less than a year. Was in the studio with Dr. Dre. We made a very dope record that prayerfully will be coming out on his next project. But a lot of people are very happy about the record, the way it sounds. Shout out to DOC. My big brother and mentor, he hooked that up, but just got out the studio. I keep saying just because it feels like yesterday. It was such a monumental moment that it always feels like yesterday. But yeah, even though the song hasn't come out yet, the highlight of my career was getting in the studio with the world-renowned Dr. Dre and making a song with him. So that's dope.
Amazing.
That was amazing, man.
So you do the music thing. I have literally been in a movie theater. It's happened to me twice.
Mm-hmm.
And heard a song that a different song you produced. Okay. One was on Black and Blue.
Yes, yeah, Black and Blue.
That was directed by Deon Taylor.
Yeah, shout out to Deon Taylor, man.
Tyrese was in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
The song that you produced opened the film,
mm-hmm.
which was, I was like, that's my voice, man.
I love that. I love the movie placements are the best. They're the best for your pockets too, I would say. So
really?
They really are, man. So those movie placements are big blessings, you know. They're big
and then
blessings.
there was another one. I cannot remember the name of the movie. It's a movie with a kid and a police, like a security guard.
That was Coffee and Kareem, I think. And that was on a the cool thing about that one was it was a song I produced for my homie Kid Vicious. He's a real dope artist in his own right, but he's Royce the 5'9's brother, just to give people context. But he was working, he did something, he got a placement, and it was a beat that I sent to him. So that was his placement, but I also got some, some nice love on that from that.
I
And,
like how you said nice love.
Nice
Did
love,
you get
nice
a
love.
check?
Oh yeah, I gotta check. Movies, movies are the best ones. And Welcome to America, the song that you speak of, has been in a lot of movies. Most recently, I almost got paid because they almost used it for the Met Gala, but then they didn't. So you got to deal with a lot of those disappointments. But Regina King, her film that she directed, One Night in Miami, they used it for the trailer, and Amazon. And that was a nice blessing as well. So that song is the gift that keeps on giving.
Okay, so hold on. So how does that work? So you have this song, and what do the companies like contact you and say, "Hello, Mr. Rhodes"? They call you Mr. Rhodes.
They do. They actually do. Most of them. But how that particular thing, it can work a lot of different ways. But the way that Welcome to America works, me and my big bro S1, who you're also familiar with, real dope producer, and just trendsetter in the Dallas area. But
very humble as well.
Yeah,
like
very, 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 very great dude. But we co-produced that, so they contact. That's a record with me, him, and Lecrae that they always contact us, because it's such a big record that they come and seek that record. Like they'll be doing a movie and they be like, oh, I think this will fit for this film. So they contact us, and you love seeing those type of emails because it have attention, and they're bracketed, and then it'll have like Sony or Paramount, and you be like, yeah, it's a good chance you're going to get some money when you see those emails. So, so.
Well, we are speaking more of those emails.
Man,
okay?
more to the universe. I could use a few more of those.
Okay, so you have worked with amazing people. You have amazing songs. You also do filmmaking. Look, J. Rhodes is my woke friend, okay? I need y'all to understand. J. Rhodes he has a very, it's like you hit them in the chest, but it's like they don't realize they're being hit in the chest until like later on they're like, wow, like that was really woke what you just said. Like you're that person that knows how to, because you don't soften the blow.
Mm-hmm.
You just make it digestible.
Man, that means a lot, Jay, because what we attribute it to, we say putting the medicine in the dog food, because your dog, they're gonna they won't. You can give them the food, but you also give them what they need. You give them what they want, but you embed what they need. And, that's kind of what I try to do whenever I want to do my message. My message is in my art. So you saying that is kind of exactly what I try to do, making it digestible and palatable at the same time, making it have that same effect.
So what we're referring to is you just wrapped a film, which has been in different art festivals, film festivals, whatever. Look, you're going to have to help me with the terminology.
We'll do.
With film festivals, It's a Wonderful Plight.
Yes. Yeah.
Where explain to everybody what It's a Wonderful Plight is.
Okay. It's a Wonderful Plight is a movie that it's kind of like a woke Christmas Carol. It's the spirit called Joseph the Hotep, who I play. And it takes us through 400 years of systemic oppression in this country, but it does it in a real dope, lighthearted manner. And it does it through hip hop music. So basically, Scott, Joseph the Hotep, take a white man, Scott, through basically all the things that African Americans have been through. And at the end of the movie, we try to make an ally. So that's kind of like the premise of the movie. It's instead of the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future, it's woke Past, Present, and Future. And you're kind of just schooling somebody on the plight of the African American. And towards the end of the movie, he starts understanding. So it's of course it's deeper than that, but that's the top layer. Y'all gotta go check it out.
Go check it out. Is that still on?
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Prime.
So It's a Wonderful Plight. It was in the so many. We had a nice press run with that. It started off in the USA Today. So for it to be an independent film, and you were around when the film started, so you knew what it took, what we did for it. So for us to be our first feature, for it to go from like little to no budget to the USA Today and Sway in the Morning and all that, we're very proud of that. But It's a Wonderful Plight. Go check it out. And we're working on the sequel. We're working on the sequel now as we speak. So.
Oh my God, you're so freaking creative. It's sickening. Okay, I love it. So let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
J. Rhodes. Who is J. Rhodes?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you first realize you had this gift?
Man, going back, I would say when I was real young, about 8 or 9, I know me and my cousin, we used to write rhymes, and we used to perform for my sisters and my that's the first kind of memory I have of doing art or performing. We used to perform for my sisters and my brother for they used to throw like pennies and nickels at it. Just weird type of, not weird, but funny stuff. And that's the first kind of time I remember writing rhymes or whatever. And of course, like back then, I was, I hooped. So that that was my initial dream, was making the NBA. But as I realized, okay, that ain't happening, I was like, that's not going to pop. I kind of started diving more into the art. So I think when I was young, I was always creative, got into creative things. I wanted to, I know I had another initial creative dream when I was real young of making video games. You know what I mean? I kind of wanted to do that. But then I think the music, if I can go back to maybe high school, that's when I really, got in a group with some of my homies. But I think I was the one that kept going with it. And I didn't make beats until college. So, I went to high school at Carter, and, my homies, some of them went to Skyline, Duncanville or whatever, but we had this group. And I remember my first time making the beat, it just came natural to me. I was an artist. It was high school, and this before.
So you were doing like the rapping. You were on the mic.
Yeah, I was on the mic. Initially that's what kicked it off, was me being a writer and on the mic. And so I made a beat just because my homie, who was the producer at the time, like, I don't think either he wasn't there or maybe I didn't like something that was going on. But in about 30 minutes, it was a machine he had, and I learned how to make a beat. But fast forward 3 years later, I was a rapper at UNT. I used to go to school, and my major was computer science, but I hated school. I'm not gonna even lie, like UNT. I just hated it.
Honest, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just didn't like. It's like, and that's another thing I think we tell our kids: go to school, go to school, go to school. But I never really got that initial inspiration to be pushed towards my talent of music or whatever. It was almost like taboo. So I went to school just, for like 4 more years to think.
Yeah, to check the box. A lot of times is what you're doing. And I'll say this, as a Black creative, I think a lot of times our community doesn't know where to place you, right? Yeah. I have a godson who is also creative. He could always draw when he was younger. He was just always different, right? But nobody, and this is just being honest, nobody in our family knew how to, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, encourage that gift, because it was foreign to everybody else. Everybody else was athletes. Everybody else was, just regular 9-to-5 hard workers. So to have a creative and to be a creative, I think a lot of times we expect the creative to go down the same route as everybody else, which is school and this and that, and that may not necessarily
be the way.
Yeah. And
I think nowadays it's kind of, with Instagram and social media, and then like with technology, people are getting pushed into, STEAM and STEM and however you pronounce it. I'm sorry. And,
both.
And other, other things. And so it's kind of more, it's becoming better now, but back then it was just a little tougher. So, I think college is when I really started honing my talent for production, because my homie who was making the beats, I went to UNT, he ended up leaving. So I was like an artist without beats. And so I started working on music, and just for me as an artist. And then I started getting so good at it that people would come around like, hey, these beats. I noticed that the production aspect of it is what really got people's attention, especially, artists' attention, because they would either, pay for it, et cetera. So I was like, well, let me push this as my way into the industry.
I'm gonna tell you something that you said that was dope.
What's that?
You were an artist with no beats. They say in order for you to be successful, you have to be the solution to a problem. You had a problem.
I had a problem.
And you became your own solution. How did you, do you have your own machine at this point? When did that come about? How did you teach it? I guess you were self-taught?
Yeah, self-taught in a sense of and this was before YouTube hit, because I used to have to buy magazines, tinker with machines, and buy copies of stuff, bootleg copies or whatever. But this is before to learn how to do it, because when YouTube came along, you can type in how to do anything, and YouTube will teach you.
That's a college.
That's YouTube University. But this is before, YouTube University really hit. So I found some software, put it on my computer, and I just started tinkering with it. And I just started getting exceptionally good, exceptionally fast. And I was like, whoa, so I would not go to class or whatever. I'm not saying do this, but I was like, nah, this is my way. I was like, man, I am into this. It was just such a passion, night and day and night. I started learning how to make beats, I started getting better and better to the point to where, I was making my own mixtapes and albums for me. And then as I started building that sound, people started coming around for J. Rhodes beats in college. And, I started learning. That's when, These Beats Ain't Free came about, because I really started learning then that, you know, you can make money from this.
Okay, so I love this. I want everybody to see your shirt. This is his little, what do you call it, slogan? This
Yeah,
is
my
your
slogan, it was a book, started as a book, then we made it a clothing line, a show, and then just the overall slogan.
So
you know
these beats ain't free. So at first, your beats were free at first.
Yeah, to start, like, when you initially start, you're just doing it for fun. You know what I mean?
How much did you charge for your first beat?
My first beat, the first
time you charged.
First time I charged, I forgot the year. I'm dating myself, but it was a long time ago. But it was an EP. It was about maybe 5 songs for $250. But I was in college. That was money.
That's a lot of money in college.
And it was a long time ago. But it was more like, so that was my first time actually getting a transaction for my music. And from there, that's just what it's been.
Okay,
you know
so I'm going to ask you a question. If you say, I prefer not to answer, you can, because we don't trust people in our family.
Yeah.
Now, what is the most you've ever gotten paid for a beat?
Woo. Let me see. I will say, let me just say this. It was the Amazon check. That's why I say movie checks are the best. But for usage of a song that I made, let's just say
4 figures, 5 figures.
How you count? How many count? Let me see. Did a comma.
Yo, he's a creative. He's not a mathematician.
Nah, this
okay?
not. It was. Let me see. Do. It was a 5-figure check. It was a 5-figure check. You know what I'm saying? And that was split. Like and you want God to. The thing about it is you start making money when those come all the time. But it was a 5-figure check for the one night in Miami thing. You know what I'm saying? And that was split between me, Lecrae, and a publishing company. So that was just my take home. So that just shows you what you're.
So if it was you by yourself,
if it was me by myself, it would be easily.
You wouldn't be here. You'd be like, Jade, I'm too good to come.
Girl, you know I'm here regardless. I'm here regardless. Nah.
So that is to put that into perspective. You start out free, 5 songs for $250 to where like literally. Because you continue with your passion and you didn't stop, you're getting 5-figure checks to do something that you love to do. It's
a blessing, man. It's a blessing. And the whole thing, you keep going because it's levels. And it's, like I say, it gets to the point to where it's here. Then it's a 5-figure check every now and then to the point to where, you know, you want to get it to the point to where it's a 5-figure check every week. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what you work towards. But,
so let's talk about that because there are levels. Because you get a 5-figure check and you're like, oh, I know you never think you make it, but you're like, okay, this is what it's about to be. And then there's a lull.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the lull.
Man, it's a roller coaster as an entrepreneur, a musician, and an artist in general. So the lull, you know, it's in anything, and Will Smith has even said this, so I can quote the great Will Smith, life is just like this. Yeah. Your business can be like this. Your relationships can be like this. It's always. So it's just how do you weather, in essence, what you want to call a storm.
So how do you weather?
So how you weather the storm is just being consistent with your work. It's the work that you got to understand in those times where it may be a drought. It's the work that brings those checks. So don't focus on the check. Focus on the work because the work attracts the money. And don't even look at it in a monetary sense. So you kind of just really stick to the work and the art. And if you're feeling good about the work and the art, I'm telling you, the universe will attract all those other things. Because what's funny about me even getting that specific check from Amazon for the Regina King film was that was in the midst of just great vibes. I got the notice for it right when I was getting on a plane from the Dr. Dre trip. And that whole thing is a story in itself.
Like, I ain't eating McDonald's when I go there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, but Pete, like I was leaving LA with, you know, working with Dr. Dre, meeting Snoop and all that great stuff. And I just had so many great vibes.
Are you mad with Snoop too?
Yeah, man, that's a whole nother story too. It's a story that is an addendum. You don't have to ask the question. Yeah, but man.
I know you have kids, but I have to ask the question.
Of course.
Did you, I'm not even a smoker.
Nah, but.
And I said, if I ever met Snoop, I would just have to be like, look, I just have to.
This is the thing. I didn't, and this is why. It's because we got out the studio with Dre and I came in there and I was just a fly on the wall in that specific studio session. The Dre studio session, I was working, I was in there, but Snoop, I was just, man, you came in there, it was a cloud of smoke. It was for Warren G's birthday. But since I was, honestly, I'm always a dude that got cool. But since I was the new dude, I was just chilling and I wasn't going to be like, hey, dude, passed it. I was like, if they passed it, but they didn't. And that wasn't, it's just, you know, I was new in there. Yeah, so, but I'll be back. Let's just say that. I'll be back. It was but I was being real.
Put it out there. I love it.
I was just like, you know what? I'm happy to be here. I'm just gonna be a fly on the wall in this
and I'm
specific
so
session.
glad you weren't the guy that was like,
Nah, I didn't want to be that guy. Like, hey, Snoop passed me like, I don't know where your lips being food. It could have been something like that. He didn't know me like that. So, but I was in there. I mean, and let's just say I may have got a contact because it was, just it's Snoop Studio. It's what you think Snoop Studio would be. But to just finalize it, it was that those vibes on that trip, me being in that artistic realm doing my thing, that energy led to me getting that email about that movie and stuff. So it's like it's gonna be up and down. You're not gonna be making 20,000. They're gonna come in between, and then when you get them, you got to pay bills, whatever. So, but it's just the fact that you're in that realm and those things come. But and then also just be blessed and happy with any amount of money that you do get, because some things are this way, some things are this. It's just like just knowing that you're doing what you love and you're getting paid for it, and being thankful to God for the big fish and for the minnows too. And that way, you know what I'm saying, when you're just thankful, that energy of gratitude would, kind of keep you going. It'll keep you afloat. So, but life is like this and business is always like this. So to weather the storm, you got to be positive and love what you do and just be thankful for whatever you do get,
Well, I can almost shut it down right there. That was a whole word right there.
Yeah,
that was
amen.
A whole word.
Amen.
Okay, so there's somebody watching or listening right now that has been working on their craft. And it could be music, it could be art. You hear the term starving artist. They say that for a reason because of the ups and downs. It could be somebody that is not even a creative. And they had, one big opportunity and it seemed like this was going to be it. And now they've just been pounding it out, and they are in that moment of like, is this really for me? Like, should I go back to working in corporate America? Should I go back to getting a 9-to-5? Let's talk to that person. Was there ever a time where, even with you having this art, you've gotten a few big checks that you were like, yeah, but I got bills to pay too in between my passion? Did you ever have to go back to work?
Well, I think in the sense of where I was in my career, you got to really think about, because it's not about really making money. It's about trading, especially when you start doing things you don't want to do. You're trading your time for dollars, right? And so you have to really just look at it like, where else could you make the kind of money that I can make, and where else is my passion going to be recognized like this? Because you got to look at basically just like the top level of where can this take you, right? And so I just think about the ceiling. I'm trying to see if I want to say it the right way, but just the destination of what I do creatively can be life-changing for my family. So you got to stay down with that, but you also can, in the sense of that, to be as least starving as you can, is like, I do a lot of different things. Like I'm a music professor in essence at colleges. You know what I'm saying? Like, even right now, as long as it's, to me, if it coincides with your passion and it's not taking you away from it, then you can do it.
But that's good that you were like, oh my God, you're literally taking your passion, and you don't necessarily have your degree in that, right?
Not in that.
But you have your degree in life.
I got my degree in life in that.
And now you're teaching that to other.
Yeah, you can have so basically it's two things. I would say sometimes you have to go back because you have to do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. Make sure you don't give up on the dream, and that you don't do anything to hinder your dream, So if you do have to go back to work, as long as you, honestly, if you're there and you don't want to be there, and you're working to get out of there, then you're still winning, because you only lose when you just give up and you're in something and you have no hope of leaving it. So you already won. Even if you got to go back, if that's what you really got to do, as long as you got that dream, then you're good. And secondly, just in this industry and being a creative, it's so many ways to figure out how to make money. Like, like with me, I did go back to UNT and I got my degree. So with that, you couple that with my experience, then like right now I'm because I'm big on music education. I'm applying to some colleges. They're trying to take me on as a potential liaison to the music industry to teach music business. So I have taught music business. So that's one way to do a thing. Being an author, I'm writing my second book. That's going to be once that comes out, that's going to be not only something a stream of education, but it's also going to be another stream of revenue. So just diversify and don't always just look at one thing, because if you take your talent, and I say that production is the root of my career tree, but I started learning how to do other branches. And those other branches may sustain you until you can come back to the root of whatever your career tree is. But just two things: never give up on your dream, no matter what you have to do, and then just try to diversify your talent and make other branches from your career tree. Because the film industry is another branch, and I love that too. I probably love that at this moment, maybe the most out of anything.
And you've intertwined, right? Your music, your love for music, and the film.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
and
ma'am.
like it like they live and breathe together.
And that's why I say film is my favorite thing now, because it's a talent dump. All of my talents can just be there, whether it's music, editing film, visuals, writing, comedic timing, etc. So I love film, but that came with me instead of just producing and just kind of being one-sided, like, hey, this is all I got to do, this is all I can rely on. I said, man, let me take some other talents, because I used to work at DFW Airport editing. So I was like, man, let me use this talent and make something from it. And that just became another branch of my career tree. So same with stocks, diversify your portfolio, but make your talent be the root of it. But you diversify your portfolio and never give up. Never, let me say that clear. Never give up on your dream, because God gave you that dream and that talent for a reason, And so,
look, yeah, you a professor. You just schooled us, J. Rhodes. Oh my goodness! Shouts out to you have a really good friend who is also a partner in all this, Corey Williams.
Yeah, that's my bro. Shout out to Corey.
People pray for a friendship and a partner like you guys have, as far as like you write the film, he films the film. You get what I'm saying? And you guys encourage each other as far as your art is concerned. Like, how important is that? And how do you guys keep each other encouraged for that being your brother? Because sometimes you just be tired. You
be tired. I know he be tired. I be tired. Like, we got our different things. Me with, family, daughters, issues you can go through with that, things that he has, as well. We do encourage each other, but it's a few things, just to be totally honest, like, me being able to develop my branches came from me and Corey were cool in college, but when he came back, into my life, he was a teacher and I was doing my thing just pretty much primarily as a producer / artist. But once he came back, I started writing my book. And then from there, I was like, man, let's start. He just picked up a camera. I just started coming back in the editing. And from us hooking up from like late 2015, 2016 on, that's when you start, the slashes and everything started happening. And it's because I hooked up. You don't need a team is great, but it just starts with one good person at least. You know what I mean? And then along the way, you start picking up other people. So that brotherhood and that friendship, and just, it's a blessing to have these ideas, because I wouldn't be able to do it without him. I had these ideas, but until you gotta, at some point, you can only do so much yourself. So you find that one person, and then you start growing, and then other people will be along the way. So like my boy Claiborne and so many people that helped me, like my boy Cleric, and you definitely, I know you try to be humble, but just your presence and always being there for the team. That's why you on the team, and like, you pick up good people along the way.
Wait a second.
You knew that. Don't act like you didn't know.
I need everybody to hear this. I'm on the team.
You know you on the squad.
These ain't free. This team ain't free. No, just joking.
Nah, but for real, it's like, so shout out to Corey, and shout out to you, and shout out to all the people, because of course you're the driving force, but it's like a engine without wheels, where you gonna go? Or like a engine without an alternator. All these things, no part is really more important than the other, because it takes all that stuff to make the car move. So I'm really thankful for those people that see it, and we've taken crazy steps. But even you and Corey, like, people see the vision and they know the end result of where we're gonna be. They don't look at you for, even though you've done some things and you're very blessed now, they look at you for the end result, like the Spike Lee or the Oscar EGOT winner. They look at you like that.
But you know why people see that in you though? Some people are just really great spirits. You have a really great spirit. And some people just have this it thing. You're just different. You get what I'm saying? And it's like it's like a huge compliment. And I can't even put it into words, but you just do you, and you do it unapologetically, but you do it with such kindness and humility
Mhm.
that I think that if not everybody, most people that come across you are just like, how I gotta see this guy win.
Mm.
Like,
I mean a lot. It
you know
really
what I
means a
mean?
lot.
Like,
Mhm.
because I remember when I first met you, it was on an interview.
Yeah,
We did
yeah,
it was
yeah.
actually a virtual interview. It was me,
Mhm.
you, and another person. And I'm like, this is just like, I don't know what it is, but this guy is dope. Like, you're just dope. And it's like from then on, we just been good. So
Yeah, we clicked since then. That was crazy. It was about 5 years ago, maybe. I don't
maybe
know.
even
Maybe
longer.
longer,
Because
but we
think about it. Pandemic was 2 almost.
it took up
So
2.
yeah, it may have
So
been like 5 years ago or whatever. But keep going, keep
man, we'll do.
inspiring.
We'll do.
I can't wait to see you win your first Oscar.
Man,
I
I
can't
can't
like,
either.
and I don't even know what all the other big awards are, but if it's to be achieved, you're gonna achieve it. And it's so funny the way Jay Rhodes is talking right now. This is how he always is, y'all. He's just like, yeah, I mean, like, I've had some really dope artists that I've worked with. Like, it was cool. All right, so on to the next, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just are always the level of humility you have. That's why God ain't give me the talent of making beats. Because I'll be like,
you know,
excuse me?
forget that. I'm gonna tell you straight up, and this is my same thing, and I say this about you all the time. With what you're doing, with how cool you are, with how beautiful you are, and just just it's like you also not have a right, but some people, I've seen a lot of people with less act a total different way, but just your humility, how down to earth you are, how you always there for me. I honestly, I think you're preaching to the choir with there's a certain stigma that if people don't know you, they can think you're a certain thing and you not that. You cool. Like you got everything to where somebody could just really be a funny acting woman, a person, period. Like, hey, I'm this and this and this, but you ain't that at all. And that's why I really rock with you because I mean, you got everything in your favor that if you wanted to be a funny actor person, at least people be like, well, she be acting funny, but I see why. But you know what I'm saying? You don't do that.
You
And
know
so
what?
it's the same
I
thing.
think probably I just fear God too much.
Amen.
And I know where all this comes from, and I understand why he has done it,
Mhm.
and has nothing to do with me.
Amen.
Right. And so and I think that we both have that understanding. And so that's why you continue to you're like the Adam Sandler, believe it or not.
I'm with it.
Like
I'm with it.
one thing about you is like you bring all your people along and you're
Mhm.
like, okay, you gonna act in this movie, so you're gonna have some acting credits, and then you're gonna do this and you're gonna do this, and it's just like, oh, okay, you putting us on. You know what I'm saying? Which is really cool.
Gotta stick with your people, man.
I think this has been such an enlightening conversation. You definitely have dropped some gems. One last question.
Okay.
So let's just say there is like a kid out there, right? And he's listening. Maybe she's listening, and they're like, "I'm interested. I want to do what you do. I want to do music. I hear it all the time."
Mm-hmm.
Should they go blow all their money on this super expensive equipment right up front? How do you get started in the game? People ask me that all the time. Like I literally have people in my DMs right now that I'd be like, go to Jay Rhodes page and ask him. I sent them to you, S1, and Jay White. Those are the 3 people I'm like.
Those are some amazing producers, Jay White and S1. So I don't know what they say, but for me, I think even the similarities, even though we're all different, like you say S1 and Jay White, myself, we love what we do. It's a lot of other ways to get into the industry, and most people that just get in there, whether it's throwing money at a situation, whether it's being popular, whether it's just business, they may even blow up, but as fast as they go up, they're going to go down because there's so many pitfalls in the industry that you have to love it. And even if you don't, if you love it, even if you hate the business, you'll learn the business so that you can stay in it. So I would say if you love it, you don't have to just even getting a program like Fruity Loops, finding the program. It's a lot of software you can get, and learning that program, you can make beats. It's just the ideas now. It used to be equipment. You can make beats on an iPad. You can make beats on a cheap laptop. It doesn't just have to be. There are programs out there. You can make beats on your phone. You can literally, if you get good enough on a phone program, somebody will hear that and say, I like it. You can get it's really not out the realm of possibility for a kid to make a beat on the phone and get it to Drake. Now, it's hard, but it's just the fact that the whole thing about it is it's the man, not the machine. So I would just say there's so many softwares out there. Learn one and just get your ideas out. And if you love it, you're going to dedicate yourself to it. You're going to get better. And then the law of attraction.
Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops. I said it's FL Studio now. So it's like it's a software, and it's not too expensive, but some of the biggest hits have been made on it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I don't use it, but a lot of greats do. So it's just, you could either use FL Studio, you can use something on your phone, something on your iPad. So just find something. No limitations. The only limitations are the ones you put on yourself. And really, if you love it, just pour yourself into it, and the law of attraction is going to have everything you need coming your way. So I would really say that, man. I would really say that.
See why I love this guy.
Man,
okay.
Feel it's mutual, man.
Give everybody your Instagram. How can they get in touch with you? How can they follow you so they can see what you have coming up next? Because I know you're getting ready to work on some more films and music.
Instagram at J_Rhodes, RHODES. And that's pretty much the gist. Facebook, if you own that, Justin Rhodes, that's my government. But
how you spell Rhodes?
RHODES. RHODES. And my website is thesebeatsaintfree.com. I'm sure y'all may have.
Is it these or these?
It's these, the proper spelling.
Oh, okay. I was making sure.
THE, not like these nuts. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I just blew my whole credibility. But like these, THESE beats, BEATSAINT, thesebeatsaintfree.com. And I need to update my website, but you can still see some things on there, get some merch, etc. Got a lot of things coming, new films, a new book, etc. Finishing the year strong. But at J_Rhodes on Instagram, DM me because the algorithm be going crazy. But if you DM me, I pretty much will see it, and we can chop it up. I'm pretty reachable, you know what I mean? I'm pretty reachable.
Yeah, for sure. Man,
what's up?
Keep killing it.
You know what's up, man.
Come on.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you for having me.
All right, I got to put you on the spot.
All right, cool.
You say you've been rapping for, since you was a jit.
Okay.
So give us I don't even know how y'all say it. Like, give me some bars. I don't know.
Man, okay.
Give me, what do you say, a hot 16 or?
Okay.
How do you say it?
A hot 16.
Okay. I feel so unhip right now, but
that's okay.
Normally I would say it, but now that I'm in front of a professional, I'm like, oh shoot. So give me a hot 16 on. Give me some woke stuff, maybe from one of your movies, one of your films.
Okay. Well, let me see what I got.
Yeah, you ain't even got a freestyle. I just want them to understand who J. Rhodes is.
All right, let me see if I got it. This is from the new movie. Let me see if I got it. Okay. Everybody want to be black. Everybody in the damn nation. White man show a little rhythm and be so quick to give them cookout invitations. Everybody want to be black. I guess it's really quite an occupation. Melanated skin hidden for the win. We the chosen people and forever God's favorite. Everybody want to be black until the Pope put you on the pavement. Until your code switching at the safe ship. 9 hours pass and you wonder where the day went. Everybody want to be black until it's time to file them taxes. Until it's time to go into the job interview and your skin color don't grant access. Damn. Okay. There we go.
Shut down. The interview's over. Okay.
And I got to get it a little tighter, but it's coming. It's coming.
I love it. Thanks for the support. Make sure you subscribe to the Dash Podcast YouTube channel. Also, we're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. And feel free to share it with some family and friends. Thanks, guys.